And hello to all my friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your singles and couples love tarot for all of the signs. I'm going to be using 4 of my tarot card decks and 2 Oracle Angel card decks that you see in front of you here. That way it allows me to go through this very fast at a fast pace. I shuffled them all ahead of time to save a bunch of time, so all we have to do is our ritual cuts and we can just roll right through it. This video specifically is going to be for 6 signs. You can see them in the text overlay right here. If you are not one of these signs, your video is going to be in the other video. I have to do 2 different videos because they get a little lengthy. So the description will have your video if you are not here, and if you are here, you can see what timestamp you can jump right ahead to yours. So let's get started. I'll waste no more time. We're going to start with Libra here. Libra is first. Going to be using this deck and this Oracle Angel card deck. Really quick, I'm going to do the ritual cuts, which I always do. Put them back together in a separate order, and then they're ready to run. Do the same with this deck. And there we go. All right, Libra. I'm going to start over here with my Libra singles and Libra couples. For Libra singles, the first thing they want to talk about is getting over a certain level of heartbreak, and this could also be something mental in your head. This could be more of not an actual physical heartbreak, but more of just the pain is in your mind of what's going on. And you're in a good position here where you're getting over it. So I feel I'm more encouraged by this position of it. Of course, this card is never pleasant to see, but it's better to be on the other side of heartbreak rather than going into it. And that's what they show. The card right behind that shows the 2 of Cups. This is a card of companionship, being coupled up and stuff like that. Interesting to show on the single side there, because obviously you're single and not in a relationship. But I think what it means is that these next 10 days are a good healing time, and also a good time to perhaps move forward in steps. If you are a single Libra who's not dealing with this level of heartbreak that I just described, that's good. This card is probably more for you here. So this is the coupled up card. So it's an open window. It's things can really develop and come in very nicely these next 10 days. That's what we have for Libra singles. So very good window these next 10 days. I would say, December 7th through about the 16th is really where we're at there. So very nice window to see for my Libra singles, especially the ones that are getting over that level of heartbreak or whatever pain they show there. So keep getting over it, Libra. You're doing well. As we move into Libra couples, first thing they want to say is not to get too reckless with spending. A lot of my Libra couples are having are going a little crazy with the money. They show big money being moved, kind of lackadaisically, kind of like it needs more direction, it needs more intention. The holidays make it really hard to do that, but that's really what's coming up for advice for my Libra couples. They want you to keep an eye on this. At the same time, we have the Temperance card that also comes up, meaning great patience. A lot of patience is going to be needed these next 10 days at least. That could be, holiday rush related or other things, work and so forth. It doesn't come in and say work, but that's just one of the things that occurs to me. So you're going to need to exude patience. It's going to be hard to be patient these next 10 days, but remember that I said this when you're checking this out, because that will help you get through it. And this is temporary. This is an interval, like I said, for the singles, this window is very short that we're reading for. So December 17th, this window breaks open and we're looking at a new window, but that'll be next reading. So there you go for Libra couples. As we move into Aries, Aries is next. Here we go, Aries singles. Big theme for Aries singles and Aries couples. Okay, so for Aries singles, the first thing they want to talk about is how magical of a time this can be. These next 10 days are fantastic. It's the manifesting of the Magician card. It's anything is possible right now. You can really just kind of make it appear out of nowhere. That's what comes up for my Aries singles. Very nice to see there. Let's talk about the description. I have 2 different women coming in here. So this may be factors that you're dealing with. This could also be 2 different sides of you or your personality. We have Thankfully, they're both uprighted. Actually, everything's coming in very clean for Aries singles. Nice to see that. We have the working female here, and we also have the female who's very strong-minded, strong in her mind, and also nurturing her thoughts and ideas. So those 2 different areas come up. They also talk about clear cognizance here. They want you to pay attention to thoughts and ideas that come to you. So that's attached to the Queen of Swords, because that's the very cerebral, very mental queen and the nurturer. They want you to be very motherly this next 10 days, and also mother your work. Your work corner needs attention. It needs nurturing. That comes up in a love reading, which is very interesting to see, but some of you may have love interests at work. That could also come up. Very interesting message for my Aries singles, but it's all very positive. So good to see there. As we move into Aries couples, first thing they want to talk about is hard work. There is some action going on here in regards to work, or it could be even the home or projects or stuff like that. They actually show you going back and getting things done here, or at least taking action. Going backwards to go forwards is heavily the message here. Getting over being pinned down. So a lot of my Aries couples have more freedom these next 10 days. There is more mobility or getting over an area that was really restraining or something to do with that. So very good to see there also. Next up is Pisces. Pisces is next. Pisces singles. Big theme there. And Pisces couples. All right, Pisces singles, the first thing that they want to talk about. Well, let me discard here because I have a couple blocked. Okay, they want them all up. All right, Pisces, we need to stress how important these next 10 days are. My single Pisces, of course, how important it is to clean things up, how to wrap things up. This is the card of completion with the world. This can be a very worldly card as far as travel and being abroad and stuff like that too. Usually for love, it doesn't mean that. It means complete. They really want you to wrap whatever you're doing here in your love corner up. Good time to tell you too, the love corner expands out. It's not just your love relationships. Obviously, you're single if you're checking this message out. This is your family and also friends. They want you to complete whatever it is you're working on here. For some of you, this could be a purging. This could be adding people in. This could be removing people out of your life. But they want you to get this complete. That's what really comes up here. We have a very strong authoritative message, either a man coming in here with the King of Wands, or that they need you to be very authoritative with work, and perhaps it's both. It could really be both. For some of you, this is somebody in your family that either needs your love or attention or something like that. I have beloved one here in the Archangel card, the Angel Oracle card, and at the same time, you're being helped and you're being guided in this soulmate direction here. They're really kind of trying to line things up for you right now, Pisces, for my singles. There is also an element here of moving away from something and not looking back. So this could be a person, this could be an idea, or it's some kind of emotional attachment at any rate. But they really want you to do that these next 10 days for my Pisces singles. It's probably so you can get a really great something to come in. And this person, this thing, or whatever they're talking about you leaving behind is in the way, or it's impeding whatever is coming in next for you. So something to consider these next 10 days. Very good time to complete things in your love corner. So there we go for Pisces. Pisces couples. They want to talk about a message coming in that's through the air. So that's usually an email or a text message or even a phone call. All that stuff is a message that you a correspondence that goes through the air that is not seen or touched physically. It is, for some of you, this is a very important message because it has to do with either moving, like long distance, or this also can be about just whatever your next new chapter in your love corner is going to be or what you're trying to do. So there is a very interesting, important correspondence coming in like really soon here. So this is like December 7th through probably the 10th. It's just the first few days of this reading being posted. So very important thing. Please pay attention to that correspondence, Pisces. It's going to be very important for my couples. Going to be different for everybody, but that's what happens in a general reading. But there is going to be some kind of correspondence, and what frequency that is going to be different for everybody. Next up is Aquarius. We have to shift decks here for Aquarius. They're going to get my brown deck. Got a ritual cut it, just like I always do. Put it back together in a separate order, and it's ready to run. So here we go for Aquarius. Aquarius singles. And Aquarius couples. Okay, lots to talk about. We have some pretty big themes going on here. Extra card there. Check my blockages. This side, I need a discard. They want to read it the way it is. All right, Aquarius singles, let's start with you. Aquarius singles, these next 10 days are not necessarily moving in the direction that you want it to. It sounds like bad news. It may be, but it's really just also important for you to realize that just not to expect anything great right now in your love corner. This is just moving in a direction, perhaps that is of no fault of yours or of no control for you, or maybe there's just nothing good going on that's worth your time right now. That can also come up. Here I have the Page of Pentacles, so this changes later in the spread that I'm doing here. So this is a 10-day window, and this is starting to shift probably around like the 12th or 13th, something like that. It really changes. It really changes from moving in the wrong direction to very connected. We have a very connected energy here in the Nine of Pentacles. That's the worlds between, you know, spirit world and this world. It's just flowing very good. It could also signify a very large fun purchase, but usually in a love reading, it's more of just the connection between the worlds. So it moves. It's weird because it starts out very, very kind of going downhill, Aquarius. And then it shifts and it turns around and it is going to get very, very good as we get toward the, like I said, the 15th, 16th, moving into the 17th, I would say for sure is when that shift is going to hit. It's going to be somewhere in the middle there. So very interesting there for Aquarius. Aquarius couples, the first thing they want to talk about is a sudden collapse of something. This is represented by the Tower card. It is a sudden collapse, a sudden change in the wind. This is inverted, so they're letting me know that it's still a fast change, but you could maybe see this coming a little bit. So I don't know if this is something with a family member or somebody in the family. They let me know healthy lifestyle. So for a lot of you, this could be somebody close to you, a family or a friend, something like that is going through a health issue. Hopefully not you, but you know, we feel things very deeply, especially Aquariuses always feel things very deeply. And if this is even outside of you, it can definitely be coming in because you are so caring about these people that their energy kind of sneaks its way in. So they talk about that sudden change, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad change. It usually has kind of a negative connotation to the Tower card, but it could definitely be a sudden good change too. For some of these people, they're talking about a healthy lifestyle too. So really changing the health around for somebody close to you, if not you. We have the Lovers card, so this is a very communal card between two people. Very much something that you're going to have to do or go through together. We have the action moving forward also, so it's a good time to take action in regards to anything in your love corner with family, friends, or whatever you're trying to do, even if it's that health message. Very much you and your person could go and address this together. That's really what Spirit's calling for here. So that's what we have for Aquarius. Good stuff. Next up is Cancer. Cancer is next. Cancer singles. Big theme. Cancer couples. Much simpler. Over here we need you. All right, so Cancer singles. The first thing they want to talk about is the Justice card. This is karma of your own. So this is you dealing with things that are completely boomerangs that are coming back to you, things that you've put out that are coming back to you. Hopefully it's good things, but bad things also boomerang back. They talk about clearing your space. Very good time these next 10 days to make sure that your space is clear and clean and getting rid of any kind of clutter or anything, or even energetically, like, you know, just separating yourself from any kind of drama or any kind of, you know, craziness or any of that comes up very strongly in the Angel Oracle card. Back to the Justice card. This can also be legal type stuff, agreements, anything to do with the police or court, any kind of that stuff. But usually in a love reading, it's more that karmic energetic definition that I gave you first. But I at least have to bring that up because it's a general reading. We have the Star card inverted. So here they're letting me know that these 10 days are very much about your choices. This is not any kind of fate-driven thing. This is not stuff that you have just coming to you that you're due for. This does not have momentum. This is 100% your choices. These next 10 days, very strong about that. So they want to make sure that you hold yourself accountable to what you're going to do with this. We have a man coming up here in the King of Swords. This could also be taking great authority over your mindset and what you're doing with your love corner. So it's a very good time to be in control of your thoughts. Not necessarily take any action as far as that kind of stuff, with the exception of clearing your space, but be very sure about what you want to attract. If you want, to bring somebody into your life, or if you want to just stay single, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that either. But with that King card coming up, they really want to make sure that you have a good headspace with these next 10 days. So please keep that in mind for my Cancer singles. Next up, we have Cancer couples. Cancer couples, they want to let you know that there's an inaction coming into work in regards to work or the workplace. This could also be for some of you that work at home. They talk about that you've learned your lessons moving forward, and this should not be a repeating thing. But it's still something that has a cyclical value to it, something that is repeated perhaps in your past over and over, and now is the time for you to say, okay, enough is enough. Now, for some of you, like I said, this has to do with work. That usually comes up in the Knight of Wands, and that's what I have here. But I have it inverted, so they're saying no action. So I'm not sure if that could very likely be the advice, is not to take action in regards to work right now these next 10 days. So if they were to offer you, like, you know, a different job somewhere else, you might want to hang back on that for right now. Something like that. That's the energy of what's coming through. And then, like I said, we have lessons moving forward. They show that a lot of you have done a very good job with that, at least in this category that they're speaking of. So I'm not worried about it at all, but by them bringing it up and for me to bring it up to you allows you to kind of be aware of it and to recognize it when it comes in and be like, oh yeah, you're what he's talking about. Okay, so you're the lesson. Or, you know, a situation is the lesson. And you know better is what they're saying, and you're going to do just fine. So that's what we have there for Cancer couples. Next up is Virgo. Virgo, the last sign in this video. Over here we got Virgo singles. And over here we got Virgo couples. Okay, Virgo singles, the first thing they want to talk about is injury. It's a very injury-prone month, so please be careful, Virgo singles. I don't want anything bad to happen to you, so you just need to be a little extra cautious these next 10 days. It's a very injury-prone month. You know, it's a month where you trip over your own feet. Not even a month, but like really 10 days. Thankfully, this is a short reading. But during these next 10 days, very injury-prone, so you can like stub your toe. You can trip over your own feet. You can sleep weird in your bed and get a kink in your neck. You know, that, oh God, now these next 3 days, like my neck hurts for 3 days. That's the kind of vibe that comes up here. Very interesting that they're talking about that in a love reading, but, you know, I always kind of give them the opportunity to take it where they want to go. Now, for some of you, this could actually be physically being beaten up, and if you're actually physically beaten up in regards to a love situation or somebody or a friend or, you know, a close family member, something like that, obviously that needs to be addressed. You know, we don't want any kind of unhealthy stuff eking into your love corner. The next thing they show is the World card that's coming in inverted, so they really want you to push hard about wrapping things up these next 10 days, getting some closures going on. We have the World card inverted very much means incomplete to me, so they want you to turn this around and get things complete. So whatever it is that for you, that's going to be different for everybody. The last thing they show here is get to a place of peace. They want you to get away from the busy. They want you to find that relaxing element, even if it's just escaping by yourself for a short amount of time. You know, Virgos do love their alone time just as much as they love time together with their loved ones. So make sure you have your space to yourself and find that peace these next 10 days. Very, very important to do so. For Virgo couples, they show a lot more mobility here. I have the Ten of Swords coming in inverted, getting over being extremely tied down. These next 10 days offer a lot more freedom to my Virgo couples. Very good to see, as well as a small victory. I have the small victory in the Six of Wands, and that can be represented by just about anything. But a small victory is just a good little token. It's a good little improvement. It's not huge. It's not winning the lottery or anything like that, but maybe it's a chunk of money coming in you didn't see before, or maybe it's good work news, you know, good news coming in from work or something relative to that. But at any rate, it's very good. Going back to the Ten of Swords, getting that mobility, getting that freedom. Now it's like, well, what are you going to do with that freedom? Now that you have it, now that you have this extra time or space or whatever it is, what are you going to do with it? And that's really what they want you to think about these next 10 days. It doesn't mean you have to make those decisions, but it's a good time to be contemplative and be a little inwards. So that's going to wrap us up there for Virgo couples. I do want to thank you so much for joining me. I do these readings every 10 days on the 7th, the 17th, and the 27th. Thank you so much for joining. Please remember to like and subscribe so you can see the future videos, and I'll see you all in about 10 days. Take care.